Okay, so this is obviously our first ever workshop with Angela. So make sure and follow her. She is so good. If you were at my brunch, honestly, it was incredible. So I'm just gonna let Angela take the floor, as I said. I said about mic, so if you want, everyone is muted, but if you do want to speak at any point, just unmute and go for it, let it out, or you can, there's a wee chat button, or you can actually raise a hand, Rebecca said,
Yeah.
like a teacher, and Angela or myself will
Please
answer
first.
or speak back. But I'm just going to. Oh, I have been muted. Can you hear me? Somebody's muted me. Somebody muted me there.
Oh,
But there we go.
is that?
So I'm just going to mute myself now. I know some people are just coming in. I'm just going to mute myself now. Angela's going to take it away, okay? So as it says, any questions, anything like that, then just pop a wee hand up or in a chat, okay? Happy? Happy enjoy!
Thanks, Nicola. So I'm so pleased to be invited along to do this. It's such an honour to join all you lovely people, all you lovely women, and actually help you raise your self-worth. So that's what today's session's going to be about. We're going to be talking about self-worth and how we start to shift it. This is something that a lot of people really struggle with, if not everybody. Everybody starts to doubt themselves, undervalue themselves. So I'm just going to start off once I work out how to work this laptop. Technology is not my friend. So I just want you to take a wee moment and just start by noticing something. How often are you hard on yourself? How often is your mind busy? Overthinking, replaying, criticising, pushing you to do better, be better, look better. And even then, it's still not enough. Wait there, because Rebecca's just messed up my thing. Even when you do well, it's like it's never quite enough. And if you're honest, how many of you actually feel stuck in that cycle of I'll start again on Monday? I need to be stricter. I just need more willpower. And for a moment it works. You feel motivated. You give yourself that kick up the arse. You feel in control. Like this time it'll be different. But then life happens. You get tired. You get overwhelmed. You get emotional. And suddenly you're back where you started. And what comes next? That voice. The one that says, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stick to anything? I've failed again. Does anybody recognise that? Here's the truth most people never get told. This isn't a discipline problem. This isn't a motivation problem. This is a self-worth pattern. Because when your self-worth is low, you don't just think differently. You treat yourself differently. You push too hard, or maybe not at all. You swing between control and giving up. You try to fix instead of support yourself. And underneath all of that is a quiet belief. But there's nothing wrong with you. That belief is I'm not enough as I am. And today, I'm not here to fix you because you're not broken. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. But today we're here to understand why your mind works the way it does. Why those patterns keep showing up. And most importantly, how to start treating yourself differently. Because when your self-worth begins to shift, you don't need to force change. You don't need all or nothing. You don't need to fight yourself. Things begin to change naturally. You become more consistent. You feel more in control. You stop being at war with yourself. And instead you start working with yourself. So today isn't about becoming a different person. It's about coming back to the version of you that was never the problem in the first place. It's something so many women, men experience, but don't always say out loud. So today's not about discipline or pushing harder, because if that worked, you wouldn't be here. Today's about something deeper. Understanding those patterns, calming your mind, changing how you relate to you. That's where self-worth really begins. So, let's start with something that might shift everything for you. What you've been calling lack of discipline is not a personality flaw, it's a pattern. And more specifically, it's what happens when your self-worth feels tied to how well you're doing. Becomes a loop that we keep repeating and repeating. It's called the all or nothing loop. So see if this feels familiar to any of you. You start off strong, focused, motivated. This time I'm doing it properly. This time I'm sticking to it. This time I'm eating well. You feel in control. And then that thing shifts. You're tired, stressed, emotional, and you slip slightly. And then a thought pops in. I've ruined it. And what happens next? Sometimes you come off track because you think, what's the point? I blew it. And then comes guilt, frustration, self-criticism, and the promise to start again on Monday. That's not lack of willpower. That's what happens when your sense of doing well and your sense of feeling okay about yourself are tied together. Your self-worth then becomes conditional based on getting that achievement, getting that thing, getting that win, hitting that personal best. It should come from here, no the external. Any questions so far? Does that make sense so far?
Yes, Angela. I'll
Thank
talk
you.
on everyone's behalf.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicola. Good. So, overthinking. So there's your mind always on, isn't it? Never shuts up. What a wee chimp chatting away all the time. Thinking, analysing, planning, questioning. What if? What if this? What if that? But the what ifs are never nice. We never wake up saying, what if I'm amazing? They do. What if I'm consistent? They do. It's always negatives. And it feels exhausting. And your brain will just keep trundling it out because it thinks that's what you want, because you're interacting. And your brain isn't actually trying to sabotage you. Although it can feel like that, it's trying to protect you. Because it believes, if I get everything right, I'll feel okay. So then it keeps trying over and over to get it right. but always sitting in the loop, always trying to protect you, living in your head, where we forget this body's connected. And then body image, it runs deeper, because there's a lot of people that actually hate their body, that aren't happy with how they look. And what's actually happening is you've learned to speak to yourself in that way. You've maybe measured yourself up between other people, people in the telly, people you looked up to, and the belief's been created that that's what looks good. And anything out with that, you start to pull yourself down. I'm not good enough as I am. And that's the bit that's really not about your body, but we believe it is. This is about how you feel about yourself. And when we start to connect the two and work with the two, we get great change. And that really can change. So let's make this real for you just now. We're going to do a wee exercise. So and it's called Spot the Loop. So if you've got a pen, paper, your phone, notes, or if you just want to do it in your mind, that's fine. But I want you to take a moment and just allow yourselves to focus on this and think about what comes up for you. So, what would usually trigger you? Would it be stress, tiredness, emotions, boredom? So thinking about what we've spoke about. And just reflect on it for a moment. And when that trigger shows up, what do you say to yourself in that moment? And then what do you do next? And what we're doing here is getting the recipe for that pattern. We're gathering all the parts. And just think about what come up for you there. And if anybody wants to share, no pressure. It'd be good to hear somebody. Nicola?
I'll share mine. My thing is, so for example, when I get stressed and I start to think I'm not good enough, or so this was actually me today. I was like to Franny, like I always want to work hard and do more, and sometimes I just don't allow myself to just slow down, and I was just like, stressing about nothing because I had spare time to sit and think. So then I started to be like, oh, I'm not doing good enough, or like you start to overthink, like how can I do that better, rather than just being like proud of where you are. And then for me, I don't know how I react. Like, my mind just goes on overdrive. Like, I don't do anything like in terms of, I don't turn to food. I mean, that's what I say. I've done that in the past, but now it's just like my mind just goes down a rabbit hole. And actually, Franny had to be like sitting. Franny was like to me, "Do this tomorrow. Go out a run." So yes, that was me today. Overthinking and stressing out, and then saying to myself like I wasn't working hard enough. But actually, for me, like I've taken a little bit of a rest from training this week, and I don't know if they can assign. So when I start to slow down on that, and I use that a lot for my own mental health, my own sanity. In my day-to-day life, and when I'm not doing that, that's when I can, I don't know if that's like where I can tie not self-worth, but a lot of that like holds me together. So when I've had that spare time, like today I've kind of went down a rabbit hole with that, and that like I just always like to be, we're all human at the end of the day, and we all have these thoughts, overthinking, so it's it's only normal that I feel that too, as well as
Yeah.
obviously my clients. So, gals, speak up.
That was good sharing, and just to kind of jump in there and give you a wee bit of what's actually going on there is that you've just got into a pattern, and because you use your exercise, you're very active. So even when you're stressed, you're releasing that energy, that stressed energy normally. But what's happening here is because you've took a step back, because you're in a different place, because you're in a different environment just now, and you're there for a different reason, your body wants to slow down, but your mind's still running 100 mile an hour because it's no get that outlet
Yep. And
to release it.
Yeah, and I think this is when I really struggle to take time off work, and that's why as well, like, I'm stressing myself out because I'm like, I'm not taking that time out that, you know, other people would get, and then I work myself up about it thinking, oh my god, I need to do more because I'm not doing as much as what I'm doing, and it does turn into that cycle of then, oh my god, I'm not doing good enough when you start to slow down, you know. It's a weird cycle.
Who did you think you're not doing good enough for? Who decided your limit of what was good enough?
I know. I don't know, like for myself. I don't know. Sometimes,
Does that make sense?
Again, it's like a social media thing. Like I feel like you see, for me as a coach, like something that's been annoying me right now, and I've been saying to Franny about it, is like, I keep seeing things on social media about people being successful. It's like the 10,000 step thing, right? That people, I'm going off tangent here, right? But someone came up with these 10,000 steps that everyone needs to do every single day for a successful fat loss. And now, like, relating it to coaching is, I keep seeing all these coaches being like, you know, I'm making 6 figures, like, and as if that's the definition of successful. And it's so easy to get caught in those traps and being like, oh well, why are you sharing that, like, you know what I mean, like, so then you can go down a rabbit hole and be like, oh, what are they posting, and you know, I should be posting that, and how are they doing that, like, but for me, I was actually making a wee post today about like how success looks different for everyone. Like, for me, it's about being around people that I love and, you know, creating memories. It isn't about numbers, and it's not tying your self-worth to that. It's not tying yourself, you know, fat loss to a specific number, like 10,000 steps a day, you know. But it's so easy to get caught in that comparison, like, oh my god, they're working hard enough. But I was actually also having a conversation with someone today, and, you know, she was saying to me, like, but who's actually proving this? Like, people just will post what they think people want to see in order for people to be like, oh my god, they're doing amazing. And it's so easy to get caught in that comparison trap. So then that's when I've went a little bit down the rabbit hole.
That's so true as well. When it comes to your personal life as well, that people are at a certain level and you're not there yet. And all this pressure that you need to get there, when sometimes you want to just enjoy your life, and things will happen when they happen.
100%.
Absolutely. Do you know, see, I think it's the woman that created Vogue. See the woman that created Vogue, she's never, ever researched anybody else's work. Look at how successful she is. Because she just stayed in her lane. She never went to see what that person over there was doing or that person over there was doing. And by doing that, she just focused on what she wanted to achieve. She didn't let outside noise come in and pull her in this direction or pull her in that direction, because she had her idea of where she was going, what she wanted to achieve, how she was going to do it. So there's something to take for that. And I'm very much the same. I don't go and look at anybody else's stuff that does similar work to me, because that's just going to make you, human nature's going to make you start to go, oh, maybe I should be doing that.
It definitely doesn't. And that is the thing with social media, is that you can get so caught up on, you know, other people. And me and Brandy were having a conversation today, and he was just like, just be authentically you. Like, you know, that is what, because sometimes for me, as a coach, like, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to post, or I get into these wee things. Like, I'm very like anal about everything. I'm like, I need to plan things. I need to plan all my posts and all that, and then I'm just like, like sometimes you just need to take a step back and not do what other people are doing, and follow your own path, and it might look different to the next person's. And I actually had a conversation with a client, I can't remember who it was about holidays, and how, like, sometimes you can look at other people's holidays. So there's a girl that came to Thailand at the same time as me, but my holiday looks so different to her holiday. Like, she might be able to go to the gym whenever she wants, but I have to find something that's going to accommodate, like, Leo, like, and it's so easy to be like, especially as a mum, to be like, oh, but, that person can do that, or maybe I could do that in the past, like, and it's so easy to get caught in that comparison, and then before you know it, you're in that all or nothing mindset, or you're overthinking.
And all of that impacts your self-worth.
Yeah,
every
100%.
bit of that, because what you're saying is they're better than me.
Yeah.
If we not all that down and just bring it all, it's basically saying they're better than me.
Yeah.
Because you're doubting yourself. Would you want to say something, Victoria?
No, just that I just really agree. And like, I'm so bad for self-criticising myself, especially when it comes to work.
Yeah.
But I never actually sit and reflect that actually I'm in a really good position and I'm in a good job. But something bad, like not even anything bad, just like one wee niggly thing can happen, and I'm like, oh, I'm just crap. Like, why have I got this job?
So you just get straight into that, don't you?
It's like 0 to 100. Like, oh, I'm getting sacked tomorrow.
Have you had a pattern of that through your life?
No, I think it's more as I've actually progressed in my career that I'm getting that wee bit higher up, that I feel like there's maybe a wee bit more pressure on me to
so
perform
people are
well.
Looking at what you're doing.
Yeah, and if I do that one wee thing, I think that all eyes are on me, that, oh, she can't do her job, or she shouldn't be here, kind of thing.
Here's a wee word of wisdom. There's no mistakes in life. It's all lessons. Every time we think we've made a mistake, we've actually learned a really valuable lesson. And if we flip our thinking with that, because mistake feels really negative, doesn't it? Because that's what we've been made to believe, it's a negative. But I just don't think of mistakes. I think it all is lessons. Yeah. Because everything I've ever done in my life, good or bad, I have learned something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you know, and you can think of that in your workplace. So that wee thing that you think, right, oh, maybe I didn't do that quite the way I should have. I bet you'll learn so much there and you'll no do that again. So how can that be wrong or invaluable? That's what I'd be telling my colleagues if I was questioned and said, well, look what I've achieved now. Do you know, I wonder if some of the patterns come from just other people maybe telling you weren't good enough at some point, or something wasn't right as well. Because we tend to kind of... Self-worth also comes from our upbringing, I suppose, doesn't it? The people that looked at, did we feel... What kind of stuff did they feed us? Did they tell us we weren't good enough, or that we were crap at that, or we were, not as good as them? So that all feeds our self-worth throughout our whole life as well. But we do get the choice to change this stuff and take our power back. So that's really been interesting. Thank you for joining in there.
Well, I love to chat.
I know. So... what I want you to recognise there is, can you recognise that it's a pattern that your system goes into?
Yeah.
Do you know, it's actually a wee pattern, and if it's a pattern, it can be interrupted. If it's been learned, you can unlearn it. Nobody said we need to keep this stuff. It's just a belief that we need to. And it's certainly not about you getting things wrong. It's just life, isn't it? Life's full of lessons. So it is. So, it's about trying to make you feel safe by getting things right. That's what that system's been doing. It's been thinking, it's been really helping you. It's like that wee chimp that just chatters away, tells you this, tells you that, thinks it's trying to help you, because going and doing that thing might be scary, or it might be, they might judge me, or they might think I'm this, or they might talk about me for that. But actually, you don't need to listen to the pattern. You just need to trust yourself and start to believe in your worth, that you're worth trying that thing, or going and just pushing that thing, or doing what you think's right for you. Forget all they people. They live in their map of their world, not in your world. You grab my charger, Rebecca. Now, we're going to do a wee bit of something. We're going to shift from understanding into experience, okay? Because self-worth isn't something you think your way into. It's something your body needs to feel. So we're going to do a wee guided practice. So if you're somewhere where you can sit down, lie down, wherever you are, I'm just going to grab my charger before this runs out. Well, you get comfortable. And then we're going to do a wee practice. So this is a wee guided regulation practice. So it is. So everybody happy to participate?
Yep.
You can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, you can find a nice wee soft spot to gaze at. Whatever feels right. There's no right or wrong when we do this stuff. It's what feels right for you. Okay? So, allow yourselves to get comfortable. If it feels right, close your eyes or soften your gaze. And I want you just to begin by noticing your breathing. So not changing it. Just noticing. And as you notice your breath, you might begin to realise there's nothing that you need to be doing right here, right now. No pressure. No expectations. Nowhere else to be. And as your body softens, even just slightly, you can allow your shoulders to drop. Let your jaw unclench. And you might notice that when there's less pressure, there's more space. And in this space, you're not trying to be anything. You're just allowing yourself to be. And that's what self-worth starts to feel like. And then take a nice deep breath in. And just gently bring yourself back. Eyes open when you're ready. Back in the room. How did that feel? Anybody care to share?
Calming.
I don't know if I am just so emotional, right? But I've got tears streaming down my face.
Oh. That's lovely. That
it's Ainsley. I was like, who's talking there? It's Ainsley.
It's me.
It's you.
Well, that's lovely. All you're doing is connecting with yourself.
Love that.
That's nice.
I think just like being on here, because I was speaking to Nicola like during the week and stuff, and I've just felt like pretty crap, and I actually says like in my check-in this week, I was like, I need to actually start being kinder to myself, because it's one thing that I'm just like, I just don't do, and I criticise like myself like so much in like every single aspect of life, and I just never really kind of give myself like any grace like at all, like no praise, like whatever. I mean, I'm quick enough to give it out, but like praising myself for like anything, I find it so hard to do. Like, I'm so hard on myself.
Has it always been like that, Ainsley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I was with Nicola 2 years ago, and I'd probably say like I was like thriving, like I was my best self, like absolutely, like I was loving it, and then my life literally did like a 360. Like I was pregnant during my shoot, and I didn't know. And my life's done like a complete 360, and I just kind of feel like, I mean, I'm 13 months postpartum now, but I still feel very much like I'm still navigating like mum life, and I've just kind of like lost like myself as a person. So I feel like I've been really struggling like this last year, like trying to kind of bring that person back, and I know I'm never going to be who I was before, but
you're stepping into your next chapter, your next version. We leave the bits behind, and we always step up and evolve. You're just going through your evolving stage.
I know.
Do you know? But do you know the biggest bit that's going to help you? Speak to yourself the way you would speak to others.
I know, and you know, like I preach that like all the time, and I'm just like, Ainsley, practice what you preach. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I do think.
Do you know? See.
You go.
Sorry, Nicola.
You go.
I was going to say the brain takes everything literal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely literal. So no matter what you put in there, what you feed in there, it believes that. So if I tell myself I'm shit, I'm this, I'm that, that's what it believes.
Yeah.
But not only that, it starts to show me evidence. So it'll say, look, you did that wrong. You did that. Look, see, you couldn't even do that. Because what you're doing is saying, this is what I want. This is what I want, because you keep feeding it in. So language is super important, how we speak. I can't stress how important it is, how we speak to ourselves. Because that is your reality. So if you're always, beating yourself up, or I'm this, I'm a dick, I'm this, you feel it. You absolutely feel it. So what happened there, why you get so emotional, is because you actually just allowed yourself a wee bit of space for you. And your body went, thank you. So it did. Your body actually went, thanks.
I know. I do say it a lot to clients, like, for example, if you are tired. I don't know what's happened here. Is this echoing?
A wee bit, but I don't know.
I think it might be Ainsley's wee mic. I'm going to mute this. No, I'll mute it for a second. I say it to clients all the time about, oh no, maybe it's me.
No, that's it.
Like when you're tired, like, life is tiring. We're all going to be tired for all different reasons. But the more you tell yourself you're tired, I actually done it to myself earlier. And Friday was like, come on, G up. Because I was telling myself I got my period today and I had a sore tummy. And I was saying to myself, oh, I've got a really sore tummy. And I kept saying these things. And the more you say it, the more it's apparent to it. And you're, constant thing. And I always say it like, if you are tired and reminding yourself you're tired, you're not going to get any more energetic by doing these things. But on what Ainsley was saying as well, like, I think it's, and I was saying it after the brunch, like, I think it's sometimes difficult to be proud of yourself. Like, you know, it's easy to say you're proud of yourself, but to feel that, like, whereas, you know, if I'm proud of, you know, clients or like Leo doing something, like, I feel that emotion. Whereas, so after the brunch, I was sat and I was like, oh my God, was that even good enough? Like, what, you know, and going in this overdrive. But a lot of my overthinking comes from like struggles I've had in the past. Because I went to therapy one time and it was something very small that triggered me. And when the woman spoke to me about it, it was like triggered from childhood. Like, so that thing wasn't even a massive thing, but it was a massive thing in my head because of that small, well, that thing that happened in my childhood. So
because it creates a belief, doesn't it? It creates a belief in your system.
Yep. So obviously, like, just going off what obviously Ainsley was saying, like, I do think, especially as women, like, I think that it can be, you know, we are so busy doing everything for everyone else that when it comes to feeling something for yourself, it can feel so difficult. And, you know, we're always filling everyone else's cup up, that we do forget to fill our own cup up.
Absolutely. I was speaking to my friend last night who's just lost her dad, unfortunately, and conversation was very much that. She's not allowing herself to feel what she needs to feel because she needs to keep it together for everybody else, is what she's telling me. And I'm saying, absolutely not. Do you know, you are going to end up really unwell if you don't allow yourself to process this. But we believe then that we're doing them all a favour.
Yep.
By doing that. But what you're actually doing to yourself is suppressing, pushing it away, ignoring yourself, ignoring the most natural thing that happens in our body and shutting it down constantly. And then we keep doing that, we keep doing it, and then all of a sudden it becomes this pressure cooker and we just... That banana made me blow. Do you know, it's the tiniest wee thing. But it's because we've suppressed and pushed it away because we believe they deserve it more than us. Do you know, so every bit of this is... everything we do in life has worth attached to it. Do you know? And like what you were saying, it is difficult to recognise that you've done a good job or be proud of yourself. And I used to really struggle, but I can honestly say, my hand in my heart, I'm super proud of what I've achieved. And I don't get out there and shout by the rooftops. I don't put myself out there, really. I put an Instagram, a post up morning and night. It's no me. Do you know, it's just to keep a presence and be reminders for people. I know the work that I do. And I am really, really proud of myself, and I'm proud of myself that I'm able to actually say that and absolutely feel it. But I never used to. So this stuff doesn't just change overnight. It's through consistency. It's through you feeding new patterns, new language, new behaviours. Do you know, and see if I have a day where I'm just feeling off, there's a good chance I'll reschedule people. Because one, I'm not looking after me, and two, I'm not giving you the best of me. And a lot of people think that self-care is selfish because, again, it's what we've been taught. Oh, that's selfish. They just think about themselves, right? But I actually think it's more selfish not to do self-care because everybody gets the shitty end of you. If I pour in my cup and look after me, you all get the nice version, Angela. Do you know? But what we try and do is overcomplicate everything. But it's actually the simplest of stuff that really, really helps us. And language is a huge, huge part of that. So I'm going to talk about identity shift. Okay, so if we think about our identity, a lot of people, as you were saying, Ainsley, we kind of lose who we are. Do you know, especially if we then get into motherhood, or we become a partner, or we get married, or we get that new role, that all impacts our identity, and sometimes it can be really difficult to find that identity, especially when we put everybody else's needs before our own. Because then, how do we know who we are? When was the last time we actually sat with ourselves and asked ourselves who we are, what we need, what makes us tick? What is my identity? Do you know? Very rarely do we allow ourselves to do that. If we're not even giving ourselves that self-worth, we're probably not looking at that part, and then we feel so lost and isolated at times. So everything changes when we start to look at shifting identity, because that's you, that's your core, that's who you are. And self-worth isn't always about feeling confident all the time. It's how you relate to yourself. Like what I was saying there, if I'm having a crap day, there's a good chance I'm going to put myself first there. Years ago, I wouldn't have. I would have sat there feeling rotten, do you know, pushing myself. For what? Because people weren't getting the best of me. I knew that. That didn't sit right with me either. Do you know? So sometimes actually when the hard days, the kindest thing for your own self-worth you can do is say, that's just how it is today. And that's okay. That's okay that the day's a Netflix and chill. That's okay that I didn't do that thing today, because the day I needed to just rest. And especially if you live in that loop all the time, because there's a good chance you're running on adrenaline constantly. You're in that fight, flight, freeze state. Do you know, because what happens there is you've got all that adrenaline, cortisol and everything running through your body, and you're having to keep distracting or keep that loop going. So then we're absolutely shattered. So it's no surprising that some days we get absolutely shattered and we haven't got that in us to do any more. See, on the days, that's your body communicating with you that it needs a wee bit of nurture. It needs a wee bit of kindness. It needs a wee bit of self-care. So a lot of people run with that old identity that I can't stick to anything, I always mess up, things never work out for me. I'm either all in or not at all. And what you believe is where you act from. So anybody that was at a ladies' brunch, I spoke a bit about beliefs and the belief system and how they're the core of how we run. So for us to shift anything, we need to shift the beliefs as well. So it's not just a case of we look at this bit, we look at it for the kind of the core. Because a lot of people look at this stuff up here and plan and put stuff in place, but they're not doing the work in here to shift us there. So what if your identity then became, I reset quickly. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be me. I take care of myself consistently. What if every day you were so consistent that you told yourself something kind every day? How would that feel? Probably a lot better than beating yourself up. What if self-worth looked like this? Continuing instead of quitting, even if we have that Mars bar or we do that thing or we don't have that exercise class. That was just how it was that day. Being kind instead of critical. Choosing small, achievable actions instead of extremes. And being consistent. Consistency's huge as well. I'm sure Nicola will tell you that as well. Consistency in everything, because see these loops and these patterns, you've been so consistent in a lot of them that they've now become your norm. It's became an unconscious program that just runs, right? But you had to start that, someone feed it. And we don't always need to know where we started it or anything like that, but it's been fed and it's been fed and it's been fed that it came as automatic as brushing your teeth. So when we try and introduce new programs, we need to be just as consistent with them to build the muscle, the memory muscle, to fire off the neural pathways. And when we do that, that then becomes our new program. So it's a wee bit tougher at the start because we need to consciously be saying, right, I need to do that, I'm going to put that in place. But actually, within a couple of weeks, that will be embedded if you're consistent with it. So it will, the same as your routines, your exercise, and everything else that you do. So before we finish up, because I'm aware that time's starting to run out.
I know I've got 3 minutes before this actually ends, because it only gives me 1 hour, but obviously I've started that, so I'll let you continue.
Well, what I want you to do, I want you to think of a moment, even a very small one, where you felt steady. You were in control. You were capable. And when you remember that moment, in whatever way you remember, notice how you were standing. How was you breathing? And just bring that feeling into your body right now. Imagine you've just stepped into that memory. And give yourself a word for that version of you. Now that word is your anchor to remind you of who you are. Thank you, ladies.
Ooh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was okay.
I love that. It's so good.
Hope it was all right for you all, ladies, and you all take something from it.
Yes, thank you so much. That was worth staying up till 2 a.m. for, Angela. Thank you. Obviously, if anyone has any questions, anything like that, you can pop them over to me or Angela. Give me some feedback after this as well. Obviously, make sure and follow Angela on Instagram. If you like one of those likes and subscribe.
Yeah. And remember, you won't get fancy videos.
But thank you so much, guys, and hopefully you can, as Angela says, you can take something away from this. But yous are free. If anyone wants to say something, then go for it. But yous are free to leave if yous want. Anyone saying bye?
Yeah, thank you so much, Angela. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
thank you for coming. If there's anyone, just drop me a wee message.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Love that.
Love me, Natasha. Bye, guys. I'll let you all go and then I'll pop it out. Or
you're getting to bed?
Yes, I'm going to get to bed. And that's me done. I'm miserless.
You have a lovely calm sleep.
Yeah. Oh, I will now. I'm relaxed, Angela. Thank you.
How was that?
I loved that. That was amazing. So good. So good. Loved it. I'll send you. This is going to shut off probably, so I will send you a message.
Perfect.
Bye.
You take care.
You
nice
too.
sleep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.